It was a wet, gray afternoon in Seattle when Jensen dragged her 2 suitcases up the narrow porch steps of the old Victorian house on Cherry Hill. She had just moved from Chicago, chasing a fresh start after a messy breakup and a series of dead-end jobs. The Craigslist listing had seemed too good to be true, a spacious one-bedroom unit in a charming historic home for a surprisingly affordable price. She rang the bell, shifting her weight awkwardly, the Seattle drizzle misting her auburn hair. The door opened to reveal a man in his early 30s, broad shoulders, slightly tousled dark hair, and kind hazel eyes. He wore a faded gray t-shirt, jeans, and an expression of polite curiosity. "You must be Claire," he said. "Yeah. Sorry, I'm a little early." "No problem at all. I'm Daniel. Daniel Carter. Come in. Let's get you out of the rain." Inside, the home had the warm smell of old wood and fresh coffee. Claire noticed the way the place felt lived in, but well kept. Daniel led her through a short tour of the house and into the private basement apartment she'd be renting, cozy, with exposed brick, vintage furnishings, and a large window that looked out over a small garden. "I hope you like it here," Daniel said with a small smile. She looked at him for a moment, maybe a second too long. "I think I already do." Weeks passed, and Claire settled in. Her days were spent writing articles for an online magazine, sipping coffee at Pike Place, and slowly rebuilding her confidence. Her nights? Often filled with laughter and long conversations with Daniel over shared takeout in the garden or on the creaky porch swing. There was something between them, soft, unspoken. A flicker of something that danced like candlelight but hadn't yet caught flame. Then one evening, rent day rolled around. Claire stood awkwardly at his kitchen door, envelope in hand. Daniel waved it away. "You know," he said, rubbing the back of his neck, "you don't have to pay this month." Claire blinked. "Wait, what?" He smiled, almost sheepish. "Let's call it a neighborhood welcome gift." She tilted her head. "Daniel, that's really kind, but maybe I just like having you around." The words hung in the air like steam rising from a mug. As the weeks turned to months, their connection deepened. One night, after returning from a walk through Capitol Hill, soaked from a surprise downpour, Daniel wrapped a towel around Claire's shoulders and hesitated, just for a second, before brushing a damp strand of hair from her face. Their eyes locked. And then it happened. A kiss, hesitant at first, then bold, like thunder cracking open a quiet sky. It was the kind of kiss that made the rain outside feel like a chorus. From then on, it was hard to tell where days ended and nights began. Mornings melted into slow breakfasts with his hands brushing hers. Afternoons disappeared into shared playlists and quiet reading on the couch. Nights stretched endlessly, filled with warmth, laughter, whispers, and long, tender moments beneath the soft creak of old floorboards.